Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and we're going to continue our exploration of no reserve list Stoneblade. This is using Fabled Passage as a fetch. There are literally no non-basics that you can fetch. You don't ever have to worry about getting Wastelanded. You also have the ability to back to basics your opponent. What does this mean? This means we don't play Wastelands. We don't play a Caracas. But we do just have like insanely stable mana that we can count on, so we can look at our opening hands and evaluate them and say, okay, does this have path to a plains? Does this have a path to an island? The entire deck can be built for like $1,000, and that's really cheap by Legacy standards because it doesn't have any Tundras in it. The equipment here are Pre-War and Meteor Sword. I think these two are insane, and you just don't even need to think about them. You should just jam them into every Stoneforge deck. But the other equipment may raise some eyebrows. Oh, Assimilation Aegis. This is like an Oblivion Ring, but it pitches to both Force and to Solitude. We're playing 4 Solitude. Solitude was absolutely insane at the Buffalo Chicken Dip, removing, for example, Hexing Squelcher when my Storm opponent was about to Echo of Eons. I just removed it and they were like, what? And then I forced the Echo of Eons and they had no hand and they had no Squelcher and everything was beautiful from there, and we won. And it was on the back of Solitude. Solitude is just an insane card right now. Most of the time we're losing because of some creature threat. It's good against all the Show and Tell decks, the Allure decks, which are now Show and Tell decks as well, and lots of other decks in the format. I am excited to play back to basics here. I'm excited to get Felia and keep linking our Stoneforge or our Quantum Riddler so we can get maximum value. It's okay to 2-for-1 ourselves to Solitude and to Force if it means we're going to redraw a whole lot of cards with Quantum Riddler later. Wrath of the Skies is absolutely clutch against the go-wide strategies, namely black-green, Cradle Control, as it's called, and of course the Mardu Tokens deck. I've got a second back to basics in here. I've got a couple Hydroblasts, 4 Consigns, which have been absolutely clutch against Eldrazi, and I did face Karnforge at the Buffalo Chicken Dip as well, and of course 4 Force Negations, so we just don't die to combo and we have time to take over the game. We're going to play a full 5 rounds as always. See you in round 1. Round 1, we're up against a likely Painter player. We don't have access to a plow type effect yet. We're going to have to get lucky and draw it. We don't even have a cantrip to find it, but I think this is fine because they are an Urza Saga deck, and Dress Down may be good there. We do have Force blue card if we absolutely need to force something here. Come on, let's find White Source. Yes! Easy money, as Boxman likes to say. I'm going to play with this Plains first. Because we're playing such a high density of basics, I think we're playing like 8 or 9 basics. We don't have to worry about Blood Moon at all. Like, Blood Moon is something you actually have to force a lot, even if you're playing basics, if they're on the play. And sometimes Painter will play Blood Moon. But because we just have such a high density of basic lands, we're likely to find a basic island at least before they Blood Moon. Okay, Hexing Squelcher is fine. I can just plow this if I need to. I can also just dress down and get it out of the way. I don't have any plays. A lot of times this deck doesn't do anything for the first few turns. Perfect! Felia is exactly what we needed to draw there. Now we just need something to blink. But I'll get a Felia on the table. That's fine. Ancient Tomb. Okay. I think I just force this. I'll plow this and I'll force this. I just don't want to deal with this card. It's like too much stress. The other thing I could do is just dress down, and then it doesn't have haste and they can attack for 2. And then I preserve, but I think they're on like a Moon Stompy type deck because this generally isn't played in Painter. I could pitch it back to basics. I don't think it's going to be good in this matchup. Yeah, I'll just pay the life here. And then I'll just get the Felia online next turn. But like if they have a Fury, it's really bad news with Broadside. They could Pyro this, but then they don't have anything to throw. Okay, cool. But like I am really worried about Fury. Like it does a lot of damage really quickly. This is a must force card, usually, in my humble opinion. Okay, Stoneforge is great. So I'm just going to play this out. We have Dress Down if we absolutely need it. But most likely I'll just end step Felia and then I Stoneforge, and then I use the Stoneforge ability to go get Meteor Sword, and then we just start destroying their permanents and flickering the Stoneforge. Or no, what I'll do is I always get the Pre-War first. This is fine. Or do you have anything else? You do. Okay, well that's a pretty good turn. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. They're down to 2 cards. Land would be good here. We do get land. So I think what I have to do here is I am going to kamikaze her to get like a second Stoneforge trigger. So let's go get the Pre-War. And now I can go ahead and attack, and I think they probably will trade with one of these, which is fine. I can't imagine they need that much mana, like where these are like super valuable game pieces. Okay, they're double blocking, which is fine. One of them is going to die. And now I'll just go ahead and wait. This will come back in, and then I'll get the Meteor Sword, and then I have dress down for... I may dress down before combat and just see if they make decisions, but they may put something on the stack that's useful. I love this deck so much. Okay, we got a Fistful of Equipment. And if they kill this, we just bring it right back, and then we start Meteor Sorting them. But I'm going to definitely try to get Felia back first. Okay, they get to use this ability. Right. They bend a Simian Spirit Guide, and then they can do it again. And they bend a Mox Diamond. Interesting. Do I just want to take away the ability to create a clue and cantrip? I don't hate that. They could Fury and just get the creature. But I don't think that's a big deal. Like, I can clear the creature. Yeah, I'll just deny them a thing. Here, I'll take the 2 damage. I just really want to be efficient with my mana because I've got so many things to do with my mana from here on out. Another Stoneforge. Nice. Magus of the Moon. Love to see it. Yeah, sure. Disruptor Flute. Okay, they're going to name Stoneforge Mystic, unfortunately, which is a pretty big pain, actually. I can't do anything about this. Once I get to 7 mana, I can just cast the Meteor Sword. I can still use pre-war to get Felia out of the yard, and she will be big. Okay, that dies. Okay, they're down to 1 card over there, but they're going to start flipping these things, and that'll be annoying. All right, another Plains. So here, they're going to have 2 of these bodies. I mean, they may be able to just like out-maneuver us once they have those bodies. I can kill one of these with Felia when I attack, which is nice. Actually, unfortunately, Stoneforge doesn't get anything here. So playing it doesn't really do anything, but it is an extra blocker. Aegis just takes this out, and then I can blink it and take something else out. But I can't do both. I think I'll play the Stoneforge just as a body. I mean, I could hold it to Brainstorm my back later, but... I mean, it's very good if we find a Brainstorm, but we don't necessarily know that we're going to find a Brainstorm. We don't know at all. What am I talking about? Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and play this. We'll get our Felia back. And then I will go ahead and just play this out as a body. And then I can double block one of these things. Wait. Oh, it costs 3 mana. It costs 3 mana. I forgot that it has 2 abilities. Okay. Well, we're not going to do anything here. We'll just chill. We have a 4/4, so they don't have good attacks anymore. If they kill this, I can still equip this on the Stoneforge and have a good blocker. They don't have good attacks. They're attacking anyway. Interesting decision. Well, I'm going to just kill this because this can be blinked when I attack. Yeah, let's do that. They still could like Fury and kill both of these if they have a Fury, but that's their entire hand. And if they Fury, they don't actually have the... No, they do have the mana now to actually cast the Fury. But they probably had it with the token anyway. Yeah, they're actually casting the Fury here. I think they just mistapped. They need 2 red. Oh, Sculptor. Okay, that's fine. That's not a big deal at this point. And a Fury. Okay. Oh, Chaos Defiler. Okay. Well, I think the game's over. Yeah, it's pretty good. Now I can take the Assimilation Agents, put this under it, and whenever one of our creatures dies, they get the ability. So I think I actually do take Assimilation Aegis, and then I copy this. Let's think about this. Assimilation Aegis is 3, and then we use 2 to equip this, and then we attack for 5. And if the creature dies... So it's whenever this enters or dies. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and target it. They're at 16. They can attack for a lot. I do need to take this out. I get a ping here. Ouch. That's a lot of damage, actually. I'll pay the life. Oh, let's think about this. So if I equip it, I don't get to play out the Tomio here. And the Tomio might be important because they're going to attack us for 8 here, and we're 10. Yeah, I'm just going to equip and hope that they don't have... yeah. Okay, so we have a 5/4. This will block. And then next turn, we can even equip pre-war, and we can and we start attacking them a whole lot and have a vigilance thing. But I think we might die before then because we can't cast this stone. We could technically cast the Stoneforge, but it'd take all our mana for the turn cycle. So I think they're gonna get just across the line here. This Disruptor Flute was absolutely critical. If they hadn't had that, I think we would have easily won this game. Oh, I think they can't kill us this turn. I don't think. unless they drew something good, because they can copy their creatures. They can kill us next turn though. They can like alpha strike. They can make like 2 copies of this, and then they can attack with these as well. So we're definitely dead next turn if we don't draw something phenomenal. Okay, they're copying that. Copying another one. Okay, they're gonna attack us for 8 here. I'll just block the Sculpture if they attack with the Sculpture. Okay, so I'll just block the one that can actually die here, and I'll take 4. All right. See, Felia, does that change anything? Felia can jump in and surprise in combat if they think they have an alpha strike. Yeah, actually, this is 3 to equip. Oh, we're just shy. Because what I'd like to do is have Felia and equip this, but I think I just need to play this out and then chill. There's no way that I can put this in the yard. If I could, that would be pretty sick because I could blow this up, but I will take... No, it doesn't target. So, yeah, I could... Like, if I can get this to die, it will kill one of these things. So really, it's a question of, okay, next turn, I'm not dead. They could copy the Squelcher. They could have... Do I want to get the Felia out? Felia can start blinking this, but she just gets back other Felias. If she blinks this Assimilation Aegis, this comes back in on their side, which would be catastrophic. I think I do want Felia rather than equipping pre-war to something, so I'll just do that. If they find like a Fury or something, I think we probably lose. They're going to wait. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and do this. And they're going to have a total of 6 attacking power next turn. All right, that's pretty good, but it does take a life. But we're getting closer to Meteor Sorting. Let's think about this. I'll play it out. I could just play another Stoneforge here just as yet another blocker. Oh, I know what I can do. Check this out. So I can blink this, and then I can Meteor Sword, hit this. Then they can copy these. They can copy each other. They have a lot of mana over there. Let's go ahead and equip Felia. And I don't think they're going to multi-block. Okay. So she's coming through. So as it enters, so there won't ever be a window where I can actually blow up their thing. They can copy these. Oh, if I target, they can actually copy and then they can kill me just through the ward triggers. That's ugly. Yeah, I think I just need to play a blocker, sadly. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, and we'll just pass. We've got him at 12. Like, this does have trample. It's possible that we can go lethal here. We'll see what they name here. This is a very interesting game, though, to say the least. Like, this is a great game to start the league off with because I'm really not sure what to do here, frankly. They can name Prismatic Vista if they want, because like I can't really use Meteor Sword on any of their creatures. All right, they chose Prismatic Vista, which is fine. I'm worried about my life total, so I'm not going to be copying it anyway. All right, and they are just copying that, so they've got a total of... that's lethal. Yeah, I forgot they could do this. Okay, we're done. Yeah, I forgot that they could just use every mana they want to make a vast army once they have 2 of them. Okay, so let's talk about what we're bringing in. Hydroblast seems pretty good. Wrath of the Sky seems very good here. But at the same time, is it? Like, are they going to have a lot of threats? I think they just happen to have a lot of threats. I don't think I want to bring in Wrath. I don't want to get too jumpy. Back to Basics can definitely come out. We just need to make one more cut. We didn't see... I mean, we could cut a dress down here. We didn't actually see any constructs. And I think it's okay. It's not fantastic here. Hydroblast is definitely better. So we've got a very focused game plan here. Very excited about having Solitude in the deck. I think it's going to be good. We can expect them to bring in... Maybe... Like, they're probably taking out Blood Moon. Okay, this is an insane hand. Absolutely insane. We'll snap keep this. Like double Hydroblast. We only have 2 Hydroblasts, so we got extremely lucky to draw them both. I'll be stunned if we lose this game. So next turn we have Stoneforge into Meteor Sword. Or I always like against they're not going to exile our stuff, so I am going to go get the other equipment here. That's a nice draw. That means I have the option of what I want to get with my next one. I am going to go ahead and go for this, and I'll just remove their stuff later. So I'll get pre-war. And now we just always, like, even if they remove this, we can always bring it back. Sculpture's fine. I can blast them later. You want to Fury me? No. Good. Fury would be a bad decision, considering I have pre-war. Okay. Options. We could just Hydro and then just attack. We could just... They are using their life total as a resource, which makes you want to go ahead and attack. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I want to get rid of this thing anyway. And now I have a second Hydro up, and I can actually counter their stuff. Let's go ahead and attack. And I'm only 2 lands away from actually casting Solitude, which will be devastating for them. This is the Gondola Mountain. Doesn't that look fun? Wouldn't you love to live in that mountain area? Okay. I actually can't stop this, unfortunately. I could brainstorm to try to find a force, but then I could get blown out if they have Pyroblast, which they may have. I'm going to try it. Yeah, we'll get an imperfect brainstorm. I can always just shuffle this back. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a stock of what we have here. We need to pressure them. We don't have a way to do that. I can Riddle just to get through it and then cast it later. Get an extra card. Unfortunately, this is going to resolve. So I want both of these lands. What do I not want? I don't think pre-war matters at this point. They're going to probably play around it anyway, and I can just fetch it later. These other cards are great. I'll just draw the Prismatic Vista here, and we'll shuffle away the pre-war. Okay. So they're doing a lot of damage to themselves, but they're getting a lot of cards. But as long as we're able to plow and Solitude our way out, maybe they can't win. I don't know. Let's like obviously if I'd gotten the sword, this probably would have gotten killed somehow. I'm gonna fetch first because I want to get some fresh card. I'm gonna get a island here. The reason is I want to Riddle, and we could get a Plains and just Riddle and then still have Hydroblast and Plow up. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. And if they do for some reason Blood Moon us, it will be nice to actually have 2 of each of these. So let's go ahead and do this. And next turn we can cast this from Warp if we'd like. Okay, it's just a land. I don't need to attack because they have protection from everything. I'm just going to chill this and Warp out. Yeah, this is going to be a hard game. I could definitely lose from here. That was a very quick 1 ring. Tapping it. They get 2 cards in the grip. They're up to 9 cards in hand. Pyrogoyf could be problematic here. Hexing Squelcher, I can't stop that. Okay, they get rid of their city. And now, what's the next card? Broadside. So I could just I could just plow the Hexing Squelcher and then I can pyro this. I think that's the line. Okay, I'm at 14. They gain some life here, and then I'll just pyro this before it even resolves. No reason to let it resolve, just in case. Okay, and we've stopped their threats, but they... Okay, and they have a grindstone. So they're on Painter. They are on Painter. Okay, that's good to know. So now we have to kind of worry a little bit about Solitude. Unfortunately, when we cast the Riddler, we're going to be slightly over 1 card in hand, unfortunately. Okay, another Solitude. So I have Painter covered if they try to grindstone me. I'm just going to reduce the number of lands in my deck. I'm not really that afraid of dying to combat damage at this point. Let's go get another island. Play the Riddler out. This will most likely just get Pyroblasted next turn. We do get a card, and then we have Riddler, or we have Solitude on tap. Okay, Fabled Passage. Let's attack for 1. We'll pass. I'm not feeling good at all about this game, but they only have half the combo. They would need 2 Painters, which they could realistically have. They've drawn really deep into their deck. Okay, they draw. Once Painter's out, they can just name blue, and then Solitude can be forced. Okay, they do have Urza Saga, so we'll be bringing the Dress Downs back into our deck. Hexing Squelcher is back. They're tapping very low in life. 7 cards in the grip. Goblin Engineer. Okay, this is going to go get the Painter, I believe. So I will have to probably remove this. Yeah, there's the Painter. Let's think about this. We can't get to Hellbent anyway, so I might just cast a Solitude. If I can find a white card, then I could have 2 Solitudes. All right. But I don't need the second Solitude because I could just plow here. No, technically because Fabled Passage. Oh, Fabled Passage will get an untapped land. Okay, so that's how we do it. So I'm going to go ahead and I don't even have to pay life, which is nice. Let's think about this. So we hit the Squelcher and then we hit the Engineer. But then if they just naturally top deck, we're dead. They do have the ability to sacrifice this 1 ring that's doing a lot of damage to them. If I clear both of these, they're going to go up to 3. They're going to go up to a 14 life, but then they're going to take 4, 5. So they'll be at 8, and then they'll take 3, and then tapping this will be painful. But the main problem is I can't get any more cards, and if they naturally draw a Painter, they probably have it. So 1, 2 for the Painter, and then 3 for the Grindstone. So But I know that we can't leave the engineer in play. We could leave the squelcher in play. And then we have Solitude to kill the painter, and we just take another ping. Yeah, I think that's the line. I'll just pay the 2 life here. Okay, and then I'll just attack for 4 in the air. I think it's extremely unlikely that we survive here because they've got like 5 looks, basically, if they want to tap this. Oh, they're at 5. Yeah, they're dead on board. I'm not concerned about Saga constructs because they're going to be dead next turn. We just have to make it through this turn, and all we have is a Solitude. Okay, they're going to draw a bunch of cards. Broadside. This is not death. They're at 3. They're dead on board. They're going to try to throw the ring, and I'll just Solitude here. And then we're probably dead to Painter. So they've already moved to begin combat, so they can't play a second Bombardier. Untimely malfunction, change the target as target spell, or okay. So they are going to be able to change this to our Quantum Riddler. And then they can throw the 1 ring at this, and then they are no longer dead. That was a very good card. Interesting. Why not hit the Riddler? I guess they're planning to throw the 1 ring at the Riddler. Oh, they just want to stop us from blocking? Can they kill us this turn? I think they can kill us for... not quite exact. So I'll just block here. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. Okay, so I'm at 11. Even if they throw the ring at me, I'm not dead. They can't throw the ring at that. Okay, that's fine. All right. So, unfortunately, I'm not out of the woods yet. Felia is great. I can Felia and Solitude this turn cycle. That's pretty good. I'm going to wait and see what they do here. Our mana base is impeccable. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, they're fetching. Or they're going and getting an equipment, or rather, a Mox Diamond. Okay. They've got so much mana. They may be playing Untimely Malfunction instead of Pyroblast, which is very good for them and very bad for us. Another 1 ring. It's fine. They're immediately drawing. Okay, so the question is, do we want to just get rid of this? They actually have tapped low enough now. Did they play a land already? They did. So they're not going to be able, like with the current, what they're currently showing, they're not actually going to be able to do anything here. I'm going to go ahead and do this. And they may Untimely Malfunction to exile itself. They're at 5. Pithing Needle. That's fine. Probably naming Stoneforge or Meteor Sword would be a good name. I will just Meteor Sword the Grindstone probably to reduce the likelihood that they're able to kill us. They may have a second one in hand. This has been a very interesting game, and I am worried about time for the game 3, if there is a game 3. If we manage to rip Riddler, like the game is, it really makes a big difference for us. Okay, they're naming Teferi, which is not in my deck. I don't think he's really playable right now, but some people do play him, so it's not a bad name. Okay. All right, so we can at least target our Solitude here to, okay, that's not nothing. I'll just target that. Yeah, I'll just attack and blink this, and then Velia gets stronger, but we're like super duper dead to like Painter if they find it, which I'd be stunned if they don't find it. Because they've got 1 ring to activate. They've got plenty of mana. I could have targeted the Mox Diamond, but it wouldn't have changed the fact that they can tap to pay for Painter if they have it. So I'll just concede when I see the Painter. Okay. It's extremely unlikely that they've seen half their deck and they haven't seen a single Painter. 1 Painter is in the graveyard, though. They are salting off. This player is salty. So feel free to read what they're saying, but I'm not going to read it out loud. Like, they salted last time I played them, too. If they want to waste their time salting off, that's fine with me. Fable. All right. So I think we just attack with everything, and then we blink this out. We'll pay the ward, and then they're almost certainly going to die. Okay. Yeah, we got that game. And my opponent was not happy about it, which I'm not going to say I'm sad. All right. Let's see. I think we determined Dress Down does belong in the deck here. I think Wrath might be reasonable here, considering like this is going to probably be a longer game. Wrath's just like, it doesn't target and it gets rid of like a lot of chaff. Since it's going to be a shorter game, maybe we take out the Tamios. I don't know. Like, I don't feel great about taking out the Tamios, but like that's the most obvious thing that like if we're going to play a shorter game when we have like 5 minutes, Tamio does take a lot of time. Let's do that. All right, 5 minutes and 30 seconds to there. 7 minutes and 30 seconds. This is a good hand, but like, I don't think it's a keep. We may not find a land. I don't have a cantrip. This is better because I've got the double ponders. I'll put back one of the ponders. Am I? I mean, I might need both of them to find. I mean, sadly, I think I put back the plow. No, that can't be right. Yeah, I'll put back the solitude. A plow is more efficient, but it does require us to find like a land here. All right, perfect. I'm just gonna go ahead and play this out, and I'll just chill, and then I can either plow or hydro depending on what they do. Hexing Squelcher's out. I'm just gonna plow for efficiency here in the end step. All right, and I think it's fine to just go ahead and jam this and just go get the pre-war. Actually, maybe I should just go ahead and go for the meteor sword here. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. All right, because if I can just start like blowing up their lands, maybe they don't have a lot of the mana. And that's something I can do even around, like they may Fury here. They could untimely malfunction the trigger if they wanted to. I would have to Hydroblast that. I will have the mana to do so. They bolt. Okay, so we're not going to be using Meteor Sword. That's fine. And had I gotten pre-war, I wouldn't be dealing with this. Now they have Goblin Engineer. I'll have to Hydroblast that. That's still a 2-for-1 kind of, because they get to put something good in the yard. 4 minutes, 30 seconds to make something happen. This is a good card that is like a card advantage engine, which tells me they probably don't have a lot going on over there. Riddler's a great rip. So I'm just going to go ahead and hydro here. And then I think I just ponder here and get my hand lower. If I find a brainstorm, I can put the meteor sword back. If I find a plow, that's good too. This is a brainstorm, but it's all equipment. I'm going to any order shuffle this. Our Wrath is great. We just need a white source now, but I am not doing anything here. Okay, Solitude's a great rip. I'm going to ponder, try to find something. Force Will, Fable Pass is actually really good. So we'll take the Fable Passage, and then, yeah, I don't need the Force. Do I want to go ahead and Riddle now? Guess I could, because I'm going to be able to cast next turn if I find a land. But I don't want the, yeah, I'll go ahead and get a Plains here. So we get a random card. Come on, Plow. Okay, there's another Plains. That allows us to cast this from Warp. Then we have a Clock. We also will have Solitude up. If they go wide with what's it called? I can just Wrath the entire board. Hexing Squelcher. Okay. I can Solitude that if I need to. I'm going to go ahead and play him out. Get a card. Get a threat. I want them to commit more to the board. But I have Solitude if I absolutely need to stop like a Painter Grindstone combo. Which would take 6 mana. Bombardiers. They don't have an ability to kill Riddler here. They're just attacking for 2. That's fine. And then I'll Wrath next turn and kill both of these. Play something else. Yes, this Wrath is going to be tasty. They're going to really salt when I Wrath. And I'm here for it. Okay. They didn't throw anything. Just got to win on time now, basically. I think this will probably be good enough. All right. I don't have any game actions I can F6 through the turn. They're 12. Their Tomb is doing damage to them. Okay. I've got Solitude up. I think I'm just going to attack. I can play a second Quantum Riddler. Maybe draw a white source. Again, like, what's the biggest fear? I'm going to brainstorm. Because if I can find a fetch. Okay, perfect. Now I don't think we can lose. I'll put back Meteor Sword. And I will put back another Riddler. Now I'm going to go ahead and just play out nothing because I have Felly up. Or I've got Solitude up, and then I can Felly in the end step. They said, I love lands. XDDDDDD. Okay, you don't have to keep playing. Felly here. Untap, upkeep, draw. Okay, I'll just go like this. I'm going to go get the Meteor Sword, which I can basically cast from hand at this point. I did tap out of Solitude. I do need to find a blue card here. Let's go. Oh, I am actually going to get a white card. It doesn't really matter. Okay, I will take this pre-war. I'll take the Felia, and then I can fetch the pre-war. Okay, and then I've got pre-war plus equipment. All right, you're at 2. I have Painter Grindstone covered. What a great game it was. GG's. GG's, better player wins. Okay, well, yeah, Mox Diamond. Yeah, good game. Okay, cool. Go to round 2. I didn't expect to win that. Like, that is a bad matchup for us. So that felt great. Round 2, we're up against an unknown opponent. This hand's fine. We're on the draw. I like it. It's got a plow and a Tomio. Control and Tomio is almost always correct. If they're on combo, we'll probably just lose. But I've just come to peace with like losing game 1 in the blind like sometimes. That's fine. This could be Doomsday. It's most likely a blue-like tempo, the most well-represented deck in the meta. Although at the Buffalo Chicken Dip, most represented deck was actually the Alluring deck. Okay, so this is just another Tomio. Let's go ahead and save my fetches for later. That could be a mistake, but if they're on like Blood Moon, but they wouldn't do that. So there's no risk here. They're forcing that. That's great. Okay, so they mulliganed and they forced. They're a huge fan of the channel, they said. Okay, Pluto Delta, pondering. So they are a little light on cards there after the mulligan and after the force. The card they pitched to force, by the way, was Murktide. So yeah, most likely on blue-like tempo. All right. I'm going to hopefully not draw more lands. I've got plenty of those. Let's try this again. We have a plow, which answers basically everything in their deck, which feels great. Scariest thing they could do would be like a Baleful Strix, which a lot of these blue-black decks are playing. If they just plow this, it's a 2-for-1, and I'll just keep playing lands and eventually win with Riddler, hopefully. I'm not going to plow into a potential Daze. They could have drawn a Daze they forced earlier. Barry? Oh, no, Murktide. Yeah, that's fine. I will wait and I'll plow during my turn again to respect Daze. I'm going to do the awkward upkeep fetch just to thin my deck a little bit because I have drawn so many lands and I don't want to draw anymore. Come on, deck. I've got 19 lands. I actually went down on lands because my lands are like unwasteable. So I was like, oh, let's just play 19, but I'm getting flooded pretty hard. It happens. I actually think I'm going to fetch again to get more lands out of my deck here in a second. Go ahead and plow first. And then if we can, like if they force to protect this, that'd actually be a really strong play. So we'll come across and then we've got a clue. I'm not going to play anything into, I am going to actually crack the clue now so I can just play around Bowmasters. At least cash in the card now. Go ahead and get a plains here. I don't have any double blue or double white cards in my entire deck, by the way, other than Riddler on the face value and Solitude on the face value. So, like, it is really nice because you can just grab a second plains and not worry. Because I took out the Murktides. It just didn't feel right. This is fine. I'm going to let her die. She's already a 2-for-1. And my opponent's down a lot of cards. Right? So, again, we're not quite a Riddler town yet. Oh, my goodness, deck. Come on. Come on. I am going to Riddle now. I'm going to Riddle now and just hope to find something decent. Okay, so we get a card. Okay, that's a good card. And now we'll just chill and we'll bring him out of warp in 2 turns. Not next turn because, again, we want to respect Daze unless they pressure us. Like, we're a control deck. We are fine with the game going along. As long as we're drawing more cards than our opponent, we will be fine. And as long as things like Baraglyphs don't get through the cracks or Murktides. And that's why I'm playing all the Solitudes. My theory is that, like, we should be able to, and at this point, they're definitely not going to want to keep Dazes in their hand, but maybe they would on the speculation that we would play a Riddler in a Daze, but I'm just going to be super patient here. I've got so many lands. It'd be so embarrassing for us to throw away even a single card. The Thought Seizing, this is fine. It's a 1-for-1. They take the Solitude, and they see our hand of lands. Oh, brutal. Absolutely brutal. And then if they're able to like deal with this, like especially if they deal with it on the stack, that's just like we're doing nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and fetch to thin again. Yeah, they got another Goyf, which isn't super impactful here. We're still at 18. All right, I'll go to my upkeep and then I'll just fetch to thin. I'll get an island. Let's draw. Okay, that's a good card. But I do want to go ahead and just Riddler here. And then I can force fight over it because it'll be good enough, I think, at this point in the game. I'll just play out the island to do it. Yeah. And if they force here, then I just force back and we've got a Riddler. Okay, so that's what they're doing. And I'm not going to let my Riddler go. Okay, so we get a card. And, okay, Felly is great. Now we have a bigger creature. They're going to need to remove this or we'll get these lands out of our hand and we'll start drawing 2 cards per turn. Bowmasters would be a good card. They just play a land. That's great. They don't have any plays. They can't attack. All right. We'll untap. Okay, Solitude's great. Let's see. Do we just want a Solitude now? I don't think so. I'll just attack, and I can Solitude during the turn if I want to. Wait, they're Hellbent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can Solitude and Felia here, and I can do so around days. I actually think it's fine, and then I'll get 2 cards. I probably want to do it during their turn though, just in case they have a Bowmaster. That would suck. Yeah, I'll just wait, because like Bowmaster would trigger when I draw a card from Riddler. I'll just take this hit, and I'll wait till the end step. See if they cast a spell. Okay, they're not casting a spell, so this tells me I probably just want a Felia here. Gosh, it's so tempting. Like, if they do have the Bowmaster, it's pretty brutal. I'm going to wait. I'm just not going to get the second card yet. I'll get it later. I think it's greedy to try to get the second card. Dress Down's a great rip. So now we can do this. I think I'm actually going to Solitude this, and then I can blink the Solitude. Yeah. And then if they have the Bowmasters as their last card, I can just dress it down. And this way I can attack and blink the Solitude so that I can grow Felia. And if they ambush her, again, I can just dress down. Okay, they're dismembering. Oh, Bitter Triumph on that. That's fine. So I'll take 2 here. So we get our Solitude back. Okay. They drew some sort of reactive spell. Play a Tamio. We'll blink Tamio. Felia is just insane. Yeah, I'll just press this down. And so it's just going to come in as a 1/1. And doesn't have good blocks. Get another Felia. Okay, that's fine. They're dead next turn, I believe. Or maybe 1 turn from now. Oh, I screwed up. I guess it still triggered. Yeah, it didn't matter. Because the trigger, it's not the ability on the creature, it's the ability on the trigger. They have a Felia now. I can just blink it out of the way and smush. No cards in hand. Let's go and attack all. Just push the Tamio out of the way so they have to take damage. They're choosing to block. Okay. Now I can go ahead and draw a card, which is nice. And I can play a Stoneforge and just, I mean, like I'm kind of showing them additional information, but like it's not a big deal. If they're a fan of the channel, they know that I trophy with this deck a while back. So let's just get a pre-war formula. Actually, I should have gotten, I wouldn't have been able to use Aegis. Okay. So we have 5, I think we have like 1 land left in the deck that we can get fit with Fable Passage. Okay, we got it. Yeah, that was like, from the first few turns, I felt pretty confident about that one. So I don't think this is a back to basics matchup, really. I can take that out. Prismatic Inning. This is what the Prismatics are in the sideboard for. And then I think we can trim a... I've been taking out a Riddler just because it is kind of a liability with Bowmasters. Dress Down is quite good against their deck. Yeah, I think I'll just take out a Riddler. Because we can just slowly take over the game with Riddler. They only have like maybe 2 or 3 removal spells for Riddler. And Solitude does just as well. Because it's a 2-for-1 and the body is relevant. So like we're basically pre-boarded for this. This hand has both colors, has Ponders, but we're on the draw. Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, the Plow's the main thing. Like, they're going to win through creatures. They already mulled to 6. Delta, fetch, Ponder. They don't shuffle. Okay. I'm gonna draw for turn is a force, which is nice. I'm going to just go ahead and Ponder. What am I looking for? Felia and Stoneforge. And more removal. I'll take more removal. I don't need more lands. That Solitude's not worth it. All right. We got a Felia. That's great. So we do need 1 more land before we can use Fable Passage. It's like really our 4th fetch. And I don't think, they're going slowly here. They Underground Sea and they ban a Wasteland, which is very savvy of them because there's no wasteful land in our deck. Okay, that Tamio is pretty nice. We can't defend her. I mean, we can technically force to defend her. I think I'm just going to do this. And that way we have a play this turn. But yeah, Tamio get out and that'll bait the removal and then Felia can come out. And later we can pre-war the Tamio back into play. So like the deck works, the creatures support each other very well. This is fine. It's a 1-for-1. And I also want to point out this deck has exactly 20 creatures, exactly 20 lands. Yeah, that's fine. And next turn I'll just untap and then I'll go for the Plow. I don't think they're going to bring in Force of Negation against me. So I'm not going to fetch because I want to draw a land actively. Okay, we don't find a land. So there's a risk that we whiff on a brainstorm. I think we just get a tapped land. Like this comes in play tapped. It's not the end of the world. But number one priority, just get the Barragoyf out of play. Okay, that worked. I'm gonna go ahead and brainstorm here while we can without they could daze here, but they don't. Okay, so we don't need redundant Felia necessarily. We don't necessarily need the redundant Solitude. I do want the land. Maybe we do want the redundant Felia. We're so close to actually casting the Solitudes. Maybe they're worth keeping. I'll put back a Felia. Maybe I can put back a Force. Yeah, I think Solitude's better than Force here. And now we can just wait and see what they do here. And then the end step, we can go get a Plains. Okay, Wasteland. All right, no plays. So I expect Bowmaster, but I've already gotten rid of my Plow. Plains. Stoneforge would be great here. Another Ponder. That's fine. I don't see any reason to move here. I'll just chill. And then I'll end-step Felia. And that'll probably get killed somehow. But once she's on the table, we can do a lot of things here. Brazen Borrower played out of hand. That's fine. I've got tons of life. I don't mind taking a hit from this. All right, we'll take 3. Now we're looking for land. And then we can start solituding. Once this is out, we can't ponder anymore because then she would die. So maybe it was a misplay to play her out. That's pretty sweet. I think I'm just going to attack and tempt fate here. If they have the Bowmasters, I can attempt to solitude it. Doesn't really matter. I guess I'll just get that out of the way. If they have a Bowmasters, they're definitely casting it now. Yeah, here it comes. I can't stop the trigger. I will trade with the creature if they want to trade. Yeah, actually, it is kind of a precarious situation because I have these Ponders in my hand, and this could be a Kaito coming next turn. Let's let that happen. And then I'll attempt to Solitude after combat. Okay, interesting. I guess I could have just killed them both. Yeah, I actually should. I just misplayed. I could have just killed them both here and given them one less life and stuff. Yeah, that was a punt. And then I would have had the mana to ponder and find more resources. So I did punt there. That was a punt for sure. Okay, so Felia, this comes back in. That's fine. But this does enable Kaito. Kaito can stun this. So, yeah. I'm actually kind of scared now. Because they didn't have a Daze or a Force, so they have some business in their hand. Okay, it's not Kaito. Wow, that's huge. That's a huge relief. They may have more Bowmasters. I'm going to go ahead and attack first and see if I can get them to double block again. Okay. I think I do go ahead and ponder here because I do want to find a land to move the game forward. These cards are really good. I think I keep them all. I could brainstorm, and if they do brainstorm, or if they do Bowmaster, I could Solitude desperately. I do want to brainstorm just for momentum here. And I want to get these. Well, what do I want to get rid of? I actually can't think of anything I want to get rid of. I think what I'll do, those cards are so good, I don't want to shuffle with Stoneforge. I could just ponder to get another one into my hand and get another card deeper into my deck. There's a Tomio. I think Dress Down's great on top. I think I just Tomio here and chill. And then I have Solitude up if I absolutely need to. Okay, they're fetching here. They may have Force. If they Force here, I might just go ahead. They'll be tapped out. And then I can just jam a Stoneforge and go get the pre-war. I think that's probably better. Do you have a Daze too? I didn't think they had Daze because they would have Dazed Solitude, but they could have drawn it. So pre-war goes into hand. We're in a very, very strong position now because they'll have to stop the pre-war, which means either killing the Stoneforge and then also having a Force. They can't do both. They can't have both Force and push. Him is very strong. You know what I'm thinking? I could just Solitude this thing and then they have very little going on. And then we just keep hitting them. I don't know. I think if I keep either of these 3 cards, it's probably better than clearing this Brazen Borrower. Okay, I kept a Brainstorm. Is it Barry? Or it may be a Merc. We can absolutely lose to Merc. Oculus, that's even better. Okay, so now we're in trouble. Okay, so we'll take 3 here. So they're not on the standard build. They're playing Oculus. So we need to Prismatic Ending into a Plow ASAP. We'll get a card and then we Brainstorm. Dress Down might be relevant. Let's Brainstorm. Meteor Sword and a Plow. Hard to complain about this. Yeah. And now we have the plow too. I'll just come across, and if they want to trade, that's fine. And then I can plow if they try to flip it over. They do trade. Okay, that's fine. Then next turn I can equip the Meteor Sword. I have actually gotten over the line just equipping a Stoneforge with Meteor Sword and beating people down with that. It's slow, but it works. If they hammer or do anything to our hand, I'll plow. Otherwise, I think I just need to hold this for a Bargoyf. Top card is a Dress Down. Tamio. That is what I'll plow. While they're Hellbent. Yeah. I don't care about losing life here. I do care about... because I'm not really racing him, am I? What was the top card? I think it was a Force. Yeah, we could die. Say for 4. Let's see. I think they're winning the race because they hit us 4 times before we hit them 4 times. I'm going to chill with the Dress Down. Just like, I'm not going to throw it away, but it's a precarious situation. I think we could Dress Down if they Kaito here. And then it stops the Kaito abilities. Okay. They may have like a Hardcast Force. They could have a lot of things here. So we draw our Force. So it is scary because they're winning the race, but we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. Trust that we'll draw some good cards like Solitudes. Lots of good cards we could draw here. I could always just hang back and like Dress Down and block it too if it gets really desperate. All right, let's see what we draw. Come on, Solitude. That's good. And I can Force to protect this. And then we just go get Pre-War. No, Pre-War's in the graveyard. So we get the Aegis, and then we just Aegis that. They can sign the trigger with Replicate. I can't stop it. So I can attack them, and then I can Dress Down and just chump this. Or, yeah, they'll trade. I'm going to attack them and keep the momentum going. Even if they have Bowmasters, it won't matter once the Dress Down's on the stack. Because this will definitely die to this. They'd have to have a Fatal Push to save it. They Fatal Push. Okay, that's good. That's good for them. Like, I'm probably going to lose this game now. So I do draw the Ponder, which is nice. Yeah, I'll take 3. I need to just find a solution to this, and then we'll be fine. They're down to 1 card in hand, but it could absolutely be Daze. So I'll Ponder first. Then I can Force if they have Bowmaster, because that would be like pretty lethal. Solitude. I just throw a Tamio in front of it for 2 turns while I attack them to death. I think that works. Yeah, and it's... Let's see, we can Force like a Bargoy for something that would change the game state, but I can just chump here. We got the GGs. GGs, well played. Yeah, cool deck. Round 3, we're 2-0. We're up against an unknown opponent who changes decks all the time. So this hand is not good. It just doesn't have a blue source, and I like to always have a blue source. This hand has blue sources. I think this is a keep. Put back the Fabled Passage. Yeah, I think that's fine. This is just a card you just don't care to draw early in the game. Then we get our turn 1 Tamio. They have played Oops in the past. Hopefully that's not what they're on because I don't have a defense for that main deck other than Force. Keep, we'll put back the Passage. So far I haven't had any mishaps with the mana base, but it definitely could happen. Some untimely malfunctions, like in round 1. That was the card, not our deck. Our deck didn't malfunction there. We did draw a lot of land that game. Are we going to get a 1-mana Hamlet Torok? She's in. Cloud Post. Okay, so they're on Depths. Or not Cloud. They're on... yeah, this is a rough matchup. We need to find our back to basics. Plow probably doesn't do a damn thing. So I am going to play this, and then I'll just go for Instep Felia, and then we'll do the Felia Riddler combo and hope that that gets us where we need to go against a very likely, turn 3, turn 4 Karn / from One Ring. Unfortunately, Tom is not good against this deck because they're probably playing Karn, and that locks out the clues. So I will be looking to... okay, Once Upon a Time's fine. I'll be looking to take all the Tamios out in this matchup. They get an Ancient Tomb. Okay. So the slower mana production than I feared. Karn Cyrix! This card is so strong. Okay, well, we're definitely going to have to fetch here. They can destroy everything, but if we have a Riddler out, they can't necessarily destroy that in time. So we'll play this out. Now, I guess it doesn't really matter. This is going to resolve. It shuts off our forces. This card is so strong, by the way. It's a... so, will they have 5 mana to blow up our Riddler? Probably, I guess. I don't know. We'll get some cards on our way out. But we're going to, it's scary. Okay, so the good news is I do have lands that you don't have to I could keep the white up just so I could plow here. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Well, actually, no, wait. If I plow this, I get 2 cards. Yeah, I just plow this and I get 2 cards from the Riddler. And then I'll get another card in the end step. I actually think that's fine. This doesn't do anything here. Let's see. I could, well, no. This will flip in the end step anyway. It's not particularly good. Let's think about that. Am I seriously entertaining plowing my own creature? Yes, I am. To get an extra card. I will do that. I don't care. Like, this token's going away anyway. They're almost certainly going to blow up everything here. They're probably like, what? Why'd you do that? It doesn't make any sense. Let's get some extra cards. Once they blow up everything, they lose the Silex because you have to sacrifice it. And then, and it's exiled. It's not just sacrificed. So we get 2 cards here. Okay, Brainstorm. Not nothing, but we can't fetch until after they've cleared the board. So we just have to hope that they don't get another soul type land next turn. Even like one of their posts, their loci, would be enough to give them the ability to blow up Riddler 2, and we will almost certainly not come back from that, unfortunately. I'm very much looking forward to putting all the Force Negations and the Consign to Memories and the additional Back to Basics in there. So we get an extra card here. I don't have any regrets about Tomio because this is all permanents. It does not care if it's all non-land permanents. It doesn't care if it's a Planeswalker. It's not like Wrath of the Skies where your Planeswalkers are safe. It's like Pernicious Deed, the OG. Elvish Spirit Guide. Crop Rot. Okay, so yeah, any land now, and they get it. They just did that to avoid force, but it doesn't really matter because I can't force. So we do have a lot of stuff out, but again, it's all going to get blown up here, but then we'll be free of this. But they'll have so much mana production online. ETB tap land. That's not the Glimmer Post. Come on. Forest. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, they're doing it. We had a good run. All right, and Karn Silex is going to get exiled and exile or destroy our board along the way. So if we find pre-war, it's pretty good here. They're down to 4 cards, but they do have 5 mana production, which is a lot. We brick and draw a land. I'm going to go ahead and Brainstorm first and put away some of these lands. Okay, that's good. The force is great. Let's put these back here. Play this out. I'm going to go ahead and just get the... I'm going to Stoneforge first because I want to get the ability to force their next play, which may very well be like the Planeswalker, unfortunately. I could get pre-war, but like there's nothing really to bring back here. I think I just get the blue card just for force. And maybe we get lucky and they just run out of gas. Meteor Sword would be great, but I'll get Meteor Sword later with Felia. It'll be a couple of turns to get that online. I just have to hope they don't have the Planeswalker. Ugin. Thing is a menace. All right, so we're just going to end step here. Aegis actually is a pretty powerful equipment because if they do get like an Emrakul or something, we can kill it. If we don't have to force, like having this in hand is nice. Karakas. Well, that is my kryptonite. This card is just so strong against my deck, it's not even funny. All right, so we need to draw something other than land. Brainstorm's not bad. I can hold it. No, I'm going to Brainstorm. I need to find action. Like, the time is not on our side here. So we can definitely put back the plow. I don't have a way to shuffle, unfortunately. So we are going to draw these. If they tap out, then I can play Felia in the end step. I have to hope. So let's draw the Solitude next turn. Yeah, I'll do it like that. And then I'll play the land. Aegis can come in at instant speed. Now they have the Karakas, they could theoretically bounce it out. I think we just attack for 1 here. And I've been told by somebody who knows a lot about Greek that it is pronounced Aegis. If they're going to K-command here, it's mildly annoying. I might actually want to counter that just to prevent them from being able to surveil or like scry. Why not pay more? I have to respect more powerful things coming out of them. I can't fight over this. They won't have anything to exile if they play the Ugin, so I can just force, and that'll be that. They bottom both. This is a crop rotation. If I force this, they may be getting Eye of Ugin. I'm going to go ahead and force this. And I have Hardcast Force up, so I am going to pitch Aegis. Like, that was a hard call because they could just untap 1 ring and then I lose, but Planar Nexus, okay, that does give them ridiculous mana production. If I play out the Felia, then they know. Come on, play something. I know my next few cards are not going to win. I'm just going to concede. I mean, it's not like maybe I shouldn't concede. It feels like we're like maybe like 2 or 3% to win this game. And this Caracas is a big part of it. But even if I got the Felia down, like who cares? Like I attack for 2. You know, it doesn't do a big deal. It's not a big deal. I probably actually just chill for the next few turns. I'm drawing a Force and then I'm drawing a Plow. Sorry, I think I'm drawing Solitude and then a Plow. So Force is like I have to hold up Force next turn. This Planar Nexus basically means they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They've got 8 mana, which is enough to cast the annoying thing. And I can't force it anymore. They lost connection. All right, opponent is back. They didn't do anything in the end step. We'll just draw and we'll pass. We're just in a holding pattern, and every turn they're playing lands and getting stronger. I guess I stacked it wrong where I have Plow instead of Solitude, but that's fine. I'm going to force most likely whatever they do here. They may have Ugin and just not casting it because there's nothing to do with it. Bojuka Bog doesn't matter at all. Like the only thing we use our graveyard for is pre-war firmware. And like bringing back Ophelia is not a high priority for me. 4 mana. This is a Force. Yeah, you don't let Karn resolve. All right, and now we draw Solitude and we just chill for another turn cycle, and eventually we'll draw Back to Basics, hopefully. That's like literally the only out. If we draw Back to Basics, we might have a chance. They have so much mana, like Emrakul could come, but I can't Solitude in Emrakul. It's just annoying because they gain like tons of life and it takes forever to kill them. So once upon a timing here, they reveal a Cloud Post. Okay, we're just going to get more mana. Emrakul gets exiled, so like they may only have one Emrakul in the deck. I'm going to ponder here. I will take a Stoneforge for sure. And we're going to go get the Meteor Sword. And then now they have to kill this or we start picking off their lands. Probably just exile it, but we're actually only 2 lands away from just playing it out of hand. Wow, that's so much mana production. It's crazy amounts of mana production. Another Stoneforge actually doesn't really change anything. We can get the pre-war. So I want to go ahead and just nuke their Caracas. I can wait. I am going to go get the pre-war first. I'll just wait and see what they do. Because they know I have Meteor Sword in hand. I'm not going to attack. I can instep all this stuff. What I can do is... Yeah, I do need to take this out before I can deploy. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and Meteor Sword now because I can't Meteor Sword. Like, they'll just Caracas. So Caracas is gone. Okay, now we'll untap, upkeep. Another Plow, which doesn't do anything. I can equip and attack for 3. I don't hate that. And then I still have Felia. Yeah, actually, it doesn't make sense to keep the blue up. I don't have any blue cards. Let's go ahead and do that. Actually, I should probably just attack with all. Then I have Felia coming in the instep. Okay, yeah, they take 5. So they're on a 4-turn clock. Actually, like, we might have a path here. They're down to 2 cards in hand. They're drawing up to 3. Even if they get the 1 ring, I can Meteor Sword, like, their lands pretty quickly. Disruptor Flute. Go ahead and play Felia now. That way they can't name Felia. Because they probably picked up on the fact that I have a Felia. So they have 2 cards left. They could definitely K-command this, for example. Just insane amounts of mana. Okay, another Karn Silex. It enters tapped. We can destroy it. It's not indestructible. Okay. But they get another turn if they cast Emrakul. And I can exile the Emrakul, but then they can blow up our board. And they can even blow up the Meteor Sword if they want. To prevent future generations. Oh, interesting. Well, I can't do anything about that. Okay. Players can't search their library? No, I can search my library. I just can't. Yeah. So we'll go get a land. Let's get a plains. All right. What are we doing here? Fabled Passage can come out. I guess I just attack and do some damage. I mean, like, what else am I supposed to do here? I'll pre-war and get one of these back later and just keep hitting them with that. Nothing to blink here. Okay, they take 4. They can wait till the 11th hour to pop the Silex. I love the art on this. It just looks so substantial. Tons of mana entering the Ugin. They exile that. They're hellbent. All right. So they can... Yeah, I think we lose from here. Like, because they can blow up like even... Yeah, I don't want to play anymore. It's not a very fun matchup, frankly. Not that I'm like ripping on this deck or anything, but it's not fun to play against. It's just kind of... They have inevitability. It's just a question of whether they get there or not. And And they did get there. Force negations, all of them are getting in. Okay, so cards we don't need. Plow can come out. I think we take out the Solitudes too. Like, if they're getting the Emrakul mana, we probably deserve to lose. We have just one more card we need to trim. I'll keep Aegis just as a way to stop them. Dresstown doesn't do anything against their deck. I'll keep all my lands in. Like, it is 19, but like it really sucks when you don't have lands because a lot of times you're pondering and stuff to find the lands, and I'd rather hold my ponders for forces. Oh, I said I should take out Tamio. I should take her out. What would I bring in? Actually, I'm just going to leave her in, and we'll just try to stop Karn from coming out. Tamio is a way we can, like, Tamio Ultimate. They may not be able to stop that. The important thing is she gets on the table quickly. They are not generally a Chalice deck, and I don't really fear Chalice decks because I've got a pretty broad curve. All right, this is a good hand. Let's keep it. And I'm just going to take my time and try to draw some action here. They're mulling to 6. They're mulling to 5. Okay, so double Consign might be good enough. Consign's insane against their deck. And if they try to crop rot during their turn, that'll be a force. Okay. Play this out, and we'll just pass. I want to fetch proactively and get it, like, not just because they have the Silex. This is fine. I kind of want land, but it's not a big deal. I wouldn't mind taking a land here just because I could brainstorm, but my hand's fine. I don't have any reason to brainstorm. But I do need action. That's the reason. My hand is great, but it's purely reactive, and eventually they will overwhelm me, I think. All right, my opponent's back after a brief disconnection. Glad they're still with it. I don't want to win because they just disconnect and timeout. I want to win because of my skills. All right, so I think this is just a simple, like, plains pass here. We drew Riddler, which is nice, but it's hard to deploy Riddler. I'll probably do an in-step brainstorm just to try to find a land, but I don't want to risk being tapped out of Consign just in case it's important this turn. Okay, my opponent's back again. They have 10 minutes. I think we'll still be able to finish the game. I am going to just pass. Planar Nexus, so they have access to 3 mana here. I'm going to do an in-step brainstorm just to try to find more land. Okay, they're going to Disruptor Flute. I think I just force this, and I will force pitching a brainstorm. Because, I mean, like, who knows what they're going to name? They might name Consign to Memory, which would be catastrophic. Yeah, I do want to be mana efficient and try to brainstorm here. Oh, perfect. Okay, well, I'll take 2 lands, I guess. So I don't need the plains. Let's take this island. I'm going to take the island in hand, and I'm going to fetch immediately. I do have the option of just riddling and consigning it, but that is a little bit risky in my opinion. Because they may just be able to remove it, but, like, let's see. They have 6 mana. Yeah, I think that's probably wrong. I think what I do is I fetch, and I'm just going to riddle now and get an extra card. Then I'll still have consign up. Because who knows how long it's going to be before I use these consigns, and it might be a while. Oh, that's a good card for next turn. Yeah, I'll just, I'm going to just chill. I don't want to burn these consigns. These consigns are the best card in my deck against them. And then when we get to 6 mana, then I'll play this Riddler out. I know that sounds like it's going to be forever from now, but... Okay, and we have so we now have consign with Replicate. We drew Force, which is fine. Go ahead and do this. We'll go get the sword. And we're just going to put the sword in and start sorting their stuff. Like, Blood Planar Nexus will be pretty good. It'll take a lot of mana off the table. They're going to K-Command here, and I'll just consign it. Oh, they're going to Dismember. I think this is a Force, sadly. I do want to keep this around so I can Meteor Sword them. Yeah, I'll do it. I mean, I just said this is the best card in my deck. I probably just made a fatal mistake. We'll see. But I think if I blow this up, unless they have another one in hand, then their mana production is dramatically reduced from, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They'll go from 6 mana to 2 mana. It's dramatic. Okay, and we'll just go ahead and consign with Replicate here because we can. All right, and now we can hit their Planar Nexus. They may have another one and they're just holding it in hand. I mean, that's definitely a possibility here. We drew a brick, but I'll play it out anyway. I just want to get rid of this, frankly. It needs to happen. They don't have crop rotation. Next turn we have the Quantum Riddler coming out. Subsequently, we can equip Meteor Sword, and we're just on beatdown now. We just have to hope that that they don't draw another Planar Nexus. Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. They pitched Force of Vigor to Force Vigor. Yeah, I don't know why Force of Vigor is in their deck, frankly. But I guess it actually is really good against Back to Basics. Yeah, they have no mana production. And now I think we just Riddler now because it's more aggressive. And then we just started attacking. We get 2 cards here, unless they could stop this. Those are good cards. Now mana's the bottleneck. I mean, I could just leave this in my hand and have Hardcast Force up here. See what they do. They've already used a Dismember, but they could have another Dismember here. Dismember won't actually kill. Yeah. Wow. That felt great. I went out on a limb, forcing to protect, and it ended up being the right play because they just didn't have more Prismatic Vistas. I didn't learn anything new about their deck, other than the fact that they're playing Dismember, which is not a big surprise, and they're playing Force of Vigor, which was kind of surprised that they brought it in. But, you know, they probably saw our basic mana base and thought, okay, if they know anything about my channel, they're probably like, yeah, BXL likes to play Back to Basics. Prismatic Ending can get rid of one of those things, but we're never going to be able to do it for 3, which is the key thing, stopping the Silex. Silex is by far the best card in their deck against us. All right, so they're on the play this turn. It's unlikely they'd be able to turn 1 of Silex. Man. I mean, like, if they Silex, we're screwed. I don't like this. This is a much better hand. My goodness, this is so much better. I'll put back a Tomio. I mean, I could brainstorm Tomio. I've got that brainstorm Tomio combo. I could just turn 1 Tomio, turn 2 brainstorm. And then, like, they probably won't be able to Silex me before I can fetch a Plains. So I'll fetch a island, and then I'll fetch a Plains, and then I'll have this island in hand. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. What goes back? Maybe I put the island back? Or no, I'll put this... No, because I have to fetch island. I need to get these fetches out of my hand. I don't like them when they're playing Silex. If they have the Silex, the Tomio brainstorm combo doesn't even matter, though. I think if we can get the freaking Meteor Sword Felia chain going, we'll be in such a strong position. I hate to say it, but I'm going to put back Tomio. I just think, like... It has to be a Strand. We'll draw more lands. Okay. Executive decision. You got to make a choice. Otherwise, you're going to get called for slow play. All right. Thankfully, can only get lands and creatures. Can't get the Silex, which is, again, the biggest concern of mine is that they're going to have early Silex. Urza's Tower. Okay, so we're probably looking at 4 mana next turn. So there is a risk that they have the Silex and then I just can't fetch. And then I can't get a white source. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm just going to hold the Tomio. And then maybe I Tomio and Brainstorm in the same turn cycle, but like that's like lower priority than getting the sword. Okay, so they have like the bad lands. Like not the literal bad lands, but like these don't match up at all. They don't synergize in any way. The card they revealed is Urza's Tower, and they played it out, so we have no information about their hand. I'll take a natural draw. I don't want to fetch lands out of my deck if I don't have to. I'm not going to cast any. I'm not going to do a suboptimal Brainstorm here. Okay, another Tomio. Let's think about this. I think this is just Stoneforge. They could absolutely just have. They could have Caracas. They could have End Step or Disruptor Flute whenever we cast the Stoneforge, which would be really tilting. I don't have a good way of getting rid of that. It just completely shuts off Stoneforge for the rest of the game, basically. I think it's correct to lead with Felia, and then at least we're getting a lot of stuff that we can put back into our hand. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm not going to go with Tomio because I'm afraid she's just going to get dismembered when I Brainstorm. Okay, and they have it. So I'm going to go ahead and fetch. I'll get a Plains, and I'm just going to play Felia now. And then I can at least blink this out of the way to get access to Stoneforge if I need to. They could have a dismember here for Felia, but it's not the end of the world. I can no longer Tomio plus Brainstorm unless I find an island. They name Riddler. Interesting. Okay, well, that's good for me. That's really good for me. Okay, and of course they have the Caracas. So, unfortunately, I'm getting blown out by this line. They bought themselves a lot of time. Prismatic Vista is a sick rip. All right. So, I think this is just Tomio flip and hope that they don't have it. They do have 3 mana here. They could play it. I could just Tomio and Stoneforge, and then I'm not blown out as hard. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And then Tamio ties up their Caracas for a turn cycle. We are going to get the Meteor Sword. And we're going to play this out. And we're going to hope they don't have yet another Disruptor Flute. They probably play 4. All right. So they'll almost certainly just Caracas this back to hand before I can untap and have access to Island. Dismember. Okay. Yeah, they did have the Dismember. They had the Dismember and the Caracas. So they had everything I was afraid they would have. Now they have Crop Rotation up 2, so they can get like massive amounts of mana. I can't do anything. I don't have a force. Damn. They just had freaking everything. Absolutely everything. I'm not going to beat this deck. Like there's no way that I beat this hand. They should Caracas now, but it doesn't really matter because they can just blow up my Felia. Yeah. So I've got no board presence. Okay, there is one draw that I could draw, which is back to basics right now. I'm going to actually brainstorm for it because if I find a basic, like a land that I can actually play out and a back to basics, we might be able to stop the Karn Silex for a few turn cycles. I can't shuffle. Don't know how on earth I'm going to win. So the sword goes back for sure. That doesn't do anything. Yeah, Riddler. I'm sorry, folks. Like, I just don't see a path forward. Like, oh, okay, I'll ponder. This doesn't do anything. I mean, it's like completely dead, but like a lot of this stuff is dead. And after the Silex, then I'll have a land, and I don't need a redundant Felia. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. I am going off of Consign though to do this. Or wait, yeah, there. This is an any order shuffle, I believe. Stoneforge just doesn't matter enough. It's not worth keeping these other cards. Yeah, I'm going to any order shuffle and just hope to spike a back to basics. Okay, Force of Will actually does something. I will make a land drop. Yeah. Okay. So we have Force Pitch Tamio, which stops something. If they actually use the Silex, they'll blow up this Disruptor Flute in the process. One ring has to be forced. That will just destroy us. Oh wait, I can't freaking do it. Yeah, good game. I'm not going to play anymore because like they will run ring and they'll run away with the game. And they already ran away with the game. They had like a great hand. Well played. Good games. Just a quick observation that had I like just chilled and consigned the one ring, like it's possible they drew bricks. I think we were still probably sub 5% to win the game. But yeah, I had forgotten when it didn't really matter because I couldn't get another island anyway. So once I committed to the ponder to shuffle and shuffle away the 2 chaff cards with the hope of finding an island or something like that, I kind of like, I don't regret any of my plays there. Yeah, I mean, I'll just stand by my assessment that they had like an insane hand against us. And I don't think there was anything I could have done. Leave comments with timestamps if you feel to the contrary. I'd love any ideas for how I can improve that matchup. Round 4, we're 2-1. We're up against an unknown opponent. They wish me luck. I like this hand a little bit because it's got the Brainstorm, the Felia. I think it's fine. We can just Brainstorm away some of the chaff. I'm going to keep it since we're up against a totally unknown opponent. They have Mold of 6. It could be a combo. Aegis is really good against Show and Tell. Not necessarily good enough. Most combo I encounter these days is Show and Tell centric. Beautiful island from Odyssey. Tommy's out. Can't immediately clear her. Solitude. I can immediately clear her. Do I want to clear her? I think I'll let him create a clue and we just trust in our ability to out value her. They're on 4 freaking cards. Oh man, I think I'm going to do it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll keep the Felia. They force here, it's a 2 for 2. There's no force of Brainstorm to flip her. They're thinking about it. I think they do have a force. Yep. Okay, that's fine. They pitch to consider, so they're on Doomsday. They could be on the Katara deck, but I doubt it. Like, I don't think it's very good. Okay, so Doomsday, like the clues, usually the game's shorter, so the clues are less impactful, but it does allow them to Doomsday and then immediately crack into their pile. So they are a usually 3 days deck. I don't want to just... Yeah, I'm just going to play this out. And then we'll try to keep pace with them. I can Brainstorm if they try to push, but I doubt they will. Because Doomsday didn't generally concern itself with interacting. It's more interested in just protecting its combo and winning before a control deck can amass advantage. So this way I don't have to play in a daze. And I'll just create a couple clues. And maybe they'll have a slow Doomsday. I say that, but it's like so rare that that is actually the case. Almost always they doomsday like turn 2 or turn 3. Okay, there's the Underground Sea. Cracking the Clue, Instep. Badlands, okay, 3 color. They're going to come across. I am going to block here out of respect for Kaito, just in case they're on like some sort of tempo deck that plays Consider, which does seem outlandish. If they flip, it's not a big deal because Felia can flip her back. Interesting. Well, I'm going to attempt to go ahead and brainstorm here. And it'll probably get stopped. But you got to try, right? You got to dare to dream. They're down to 2 cards, though. They've already forced. They may not have more interaction. That's brutal. Okay. So, like, I am going to keep her alive. They can't kill her during their turn. They should know that. If they don't know it, it's good for me. They have a pretty big army that I'll have to Felia Flicker. Oh, wow. Stoneforge can chump for a turn. Yeah, I actually think this is fine. So I'll regrow a land, I guess, and I'll have plenty of lands. All right, all my fetches are basically the same. We'll see where they put these triggers. Putting them on me. Okay, they know the rules. Okay, so Tamio flips. They get their pings on. Their bolt fizzles. Yeah, that was a good play. I actually didn't anticipate that at all. I probably should have thought about that. That was a punt on my part. If it's not clear, like I did punt there. But I don't know that it was a punt because I think structurally, like having this around is probably worth it. And now I 2-for-1 by Stoneforging, and I just grab pre-war, and then I chump. And they're going to have a Kaito. Yep. So the only threat that can actually deal damage to Tamio is this, unless they have Kaito. They are stacking clues, though. I didn't get any clues from my Tamio. And this isn't really a 2-for-1 in the sense that, like, I guess it will be when if pre-war actually works, but I have to actually cast it. I can't put it into play because I do want to protect her. I could let her go down to 1, but then she dies to another Bowmaster, and I do want to keep her around because now they have a pretty good offensive. And if I don't block here, I don't actually have anything to pre-war back. Land. Okay, so they have 2 clues. They can flip her, which is annoying. A Solitude would be a solid draw. Brainstorming, that's fine. So they flip her and they have the ability to keep some of those cards or shuffle them away. Definitely an interesting start to the game. Okay. Tamio flips. Pluses. If pre-war resolves, which they may very well have a force, but if pre-war resolves, then we have a pretty good blocker. And I am the first to Tamio, so I might be able to like juggle, as I like to say. Let's go and try it. If they have force blue card, it's pretty bad for me. Oh, they don't? Okay, well, that's fantastic for me. Then we can go get the sword. And they'll have to push this out of the way. That is our last equipment in the deck. Because I pitched 1 early on, remember? So let's plus here. We'll just chill. And they could have like Brazen Borrower. But this is going to get debuffed. And they're not going to be able to attack Tamio to death. They could ping and... yeah, they may have like an extra 1. Okay, they're surveilling. So they only kept 2 of the 4 cards they looked at. So probably, I presume, the best ones. And they're also going to be able to find another good card here. I can't ultimate with Bowmaster on the table. If I find a plow, I could plow, minus plow. But if I have a chance to Meteor Sword, I'll definitely take out the Tamio. But I could Meteor Sword, take out the Bowmaster, and then ultimate. But I think they'd probably have another Bowmaster by then. They are looking at a lot of cards over there. They kept the top card. So I'm presuming they have an answer to Tamio pretty soon. Just sticking Bowmasters is like a very solid strategy. It generally works. Okay, they're regrowing a force. That is fine. That means they're probably going to push here so they can stop the... Kaito. It's fine. They can stun and then they can attack. They have force. Okay, so they're knocking 3 loyalty off. Okay. I don't have a good way to clear this. I can't Bowmaster... Or I can't really do anything here. I could rest down during their upkeep to remove Kaito's abilities. I think I have plus here. I think in my end step, I'm going to attempt to dress down. Then they'll have to force pitch something. She's going to take 3. Kaito can also attack her. Yeah, I actually hope that they... Like, she's probably a goner. Let's dress down in the end step. I think my odds of winning this game are very low now. They're thinking about it. They're thinking about whether to force here. Okay, so we get a card. And it's a ponder. Okay, so I have Felia, but Felia doesn't get dazed here. So Tamio is still going to die, but it buys us some time. They get to plus their Tamio again. They still have force for my Felia. If they don't need it, they could also just daze it. All right, these come at Tamio. She is a goner. Exactly 5. Katara is in their deck. Okay, interesting. So, yeah. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do this now because I don't know why. I'm just thinking like maybe there's a reason to do this in the end step before the dress down goes away. Just in case they have, I don't know. And I absolutely could have used the dress down to get Riddler out too. I think they probably force here because they're pretty far ahead. But this does mean they can't force the next thing I do. But if I attack, I can flip Tamio back. Yeah, so they do force here. Okay, they're down to 1 card, but like Katara, they have so much going on. This Bowmasters being a huge problem. I don't think we can win because of Bowmasters. Let's think about this. So what options do we have? We could Riddle. We're not going to be able to stifle it. I think I'm just going to ponder and see what I draw. And it is going to give them a trigger here, unfortunately. Solitude's fine, but like I don't have... Yeah, this needs any order shuffle. I would like the land, but I need a plow exactly. Yeah, I'm going to concede. This is over. So, Bowmasters continuing to be a pain, and we need to have plow to remove it. So, I saw lots of non-basics there. Back to basics, get in the deck. Hydroblast. There are red cards in the deck. Is it worth playing Hydroblast for that? I don't think so. Prismatic Ending is very good here. So, I think we take out the... So, I'm not going to bring in the Hydroblast after all. I want to go down a Riddler. It is really bad against Bowmaster decks. I could actually go down 2 Riddlers, and I'm going to go down a Force. Let's do it. I'm not taking out any of my white spells. I'm not taking out Tamio because she is good. Like, even with Bowmasters, she comes down early and soaks up removal. Okay, so this is a pretty good hand. A lot of interaction. Brainstorm is our only way of finding a land. Is kind of a bummer. I'm going to mulligan. I think we can do better. There are no sideboard cards in here. This is better. I'll just put back a land. It is a pretty mediocre hand. I'll just put back an island. Then I will just play this out, and I'll just ponder immediately. Just get it out of my hand. Let's find some action. These are insane cards. I don't want the planes. I will take the Prismatic Ending now, and I'll take the Back to Basics after they Thoughtseize me. Yeah, if they're on 3 color, they probably only have like a few basics in the deck. They might have 3. They might have 1 of each color. But they're not necessarily going to proactively fetch those. Okay, so here, I do want to Brainstorm, just get it out of my hand. So we know we don't want these lands. Yeah, I'll just put these back. And we can fetch planes and an island. It doesn't really matter the sequence. I'm just going to wait till they get like their lands fetched. Like hopefully they play a non-basic here. And then hopefully they tap out. I'm going to go ahead and fetch, get a planes. And if that fetch had failed, like if they stifled it, then I would have a land on top. So it wasn't that big of a risk. Okay, now we have a land. Perfect. I don't think we jam Back to Basics yet. I think we just go for Felia here. And that way we don't have to worry about days, but we do have to worry about Thoughtseize now. They may have end-step Bowmasters. They're just brainstorming. That's fine. And they're going to get a perfect brainstorm. So my opponent's playing really well, and they're playing like a cool deck. So yeah, this is exciting. I'm glad. Like, even though we lost game 1, I'm excited. We're also, the clocks are practically the same. So this is going to be like, assuming we can win 1 game, which I think we are favored. They did grab a basic island there. So maybe red is like the very faintest splash, but we saw Bolt, which makes me think that they have probably at least 4 or 5 red cards in their deck, but not enough to bring in Hydroblast necessarily. Come on, fetch a non-basic here. Baleful Strix. That is annoying. I'm going to play out the Felia and then I'll Prismatic End it. They could have Daze Stifle. I may just let this resolve because like if I blink that, it's not good for them. Or it's actually good for them. Okay, they're going to fetch. Hopefully they fetch a non-basic. Swamp. All right, they're too smart because they're going to Fatal Push this, unfortunately. And because they're a Kaito deck, I do have to just Prismatic in this and take my medicine. Also, I don't want to draw a land. I think I'm going to keep fetch. I know it's kind of janky. Let's get a island here. Yeah, I don't think it's worth locking them off that land. This will almost certainly just get pitched to Force now. Okay, so I'm just going to do this and I'll chill. Yeah, that was a 2-for-1 for them. Pretty good. And if they have Kaito, well, the enabler's gone. But they're at 6 freaking cards. And my hand doesn't do anything against their deck, basically. I need them to play out like a Badlands or something that I can lock down. Tamiyo, that's unfortunate. I'm not going to fight that. I'll try to Solitude it if I draw a land. So I actually do want to draw a land here. Okay. Well, at this point, I actually think I upkeep Plow because I don't want them to be able to do anything. Gosh, what a beating. Yeah, their deck, like, my deck has lots of value. Where's the value? Come on, deck. Let's do this now. And they have the Brainstorm, so I have to force this because I just can't beat that. And then the game's over, basically, if they are able to force back. Or if they just have a second Brainstorm, even. Or Pyro. Lots of things they could have here. Yeah, they just have a second Brainstorm. Okay. All right. And now they saw the back to basics, so they'll definitely fetch around that for the rest of the game. And if there's a game 3, back to basics is probably just coming out, like, because they're going to be cognizant of it. So they don't get the clue, but they get the trigger here. And they're just going to Pyro my force so they can Brainstorm again too. I love it. We're just getting completely annihilated here. Oh, they did let it happen. Okay, well, they still got like a ridiculous trade there. Like my entire hand, basically. Okay. And now they get their card for turn. So they're up to 5 cards, and my hand is totally non-functional. This is embarrassing. And yeah, I guess they're on Grixis control with Katara, is my read. Okay, I don't have a Surveil land or anything. Yeah, we'll hope that Solitude does some heavy lifting here. And this is absolutely a situation where a Surveil land would be good. But we've seen so many situations this league where it's nice to just not worry about Wasteland. And this league is just, like, so far, it's just a minor sampling. Okay. And I don't think the version that I was playing before that has like the tundras and stuff, I don't think that's like necessarily any better. I'm not going to play this out. I'll just let this keep going up. Because if I play it out, like, I definitely lose. Because it's not going to do a good job. Okay, and perfect. So, unfortunately, I do not have enough mana to stop a Bowmaster, but I just can't wait around. So they're going to Bowmaster here. I have... Oh, wow. Okay. So actually, like, we've got a lot of options here. I think I pre-war get Felia back. I'm just going to put the Solitudes away, frankly. They're good, don't get me wrong, but like Tamiyo is a card advantage engine, and I could deploy everything this turn. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, let's go ahead and pre-war first because that's the one we don't want to get countered. They may just have Hardcast Force, but they didn't seem to have days. But like any Fatal Push, any stack interaction at all, like they're obviously holding something up. Okay. And now I will play the Tamiyo, but then they'll know that I've got nothing. If they're on James Kisao special, like, I don't think he's playing Katara. Maybe just a one of. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and... Does the Tamiyo matter? Tamiyo draws me a card, but I just can't answer this. Wait, I can draw a Prismatic Ending. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play it out, and then they may minus to just push this out of the way. That's fine. Okay, what is this? They're gonna blow this up with Flame of Anor? Oh, they're going to Kolaghan's Command. That destroys my art. Yeah. Just trying to choose the modes. So I misdiagnosed what they were, but they're basically just Grixis control here. Good games. That was critical because I saw the early consider and it completely warped. First I thought it was Doomsday. Then I thought it was like a dedicated to Katara deck that was like playing 3 color. But then I realized toward the end, it's basically just Grixis control. And like that failure to diagnose completely warped my sideboarding decisions and warped my play, and I think that did me in. So, lots to learn from that league or that game. All right, we're up against a player that plays a lot of different styles of decks. This hand is basically nothing but mana and Tamiyo's, but the power of Tamiyo is such that I think you're, totally reasonable to keep a double Tamiyo hand. And I can just fetch the basic island with the Flooded Strand, which makes them think maybe I don't have a lot of land. So maybe they'll prioritize keeping daisies and stuff like that. But if I lead with Prismatic Vista, it like totally gives away what I'm playing. You have Maya, Mox Diamond. Okay, so we're on a land strategy here. Dark Depths. Do they have They have it. Unbelievable. Okay, well, it is totally believable because this is what I call the God Hand, where they have turn 1 loam. And they can get back whatever they pitch to Mox. This is going to be an uphill battle for sure. Felia is very good here. So I'm going to create a clue and then I'm going to put Felia in. And Felia can start like blinking their Mox, which doesn't do a lot, but it is like an answer to Dark Depths. Not a good one. Interesting. They just played a land there. Okay. Well, I suspect they probably have crop rotation or something. If they get like Tabernacle, it's really inconvenient. Okay. Oh, that is the best draw in our deck. I'm very happy to see that. So I'm going to wait another turn. Do I want to wait another turn? I might not want to. I might want to just jam this. They could have, yeah. So I think I blink this, make them discard. We'll see what they do during combat. Is it worth blinking this or just making her bigger? I think it's actually better to make her just make her bigger, and I can blink later. And hopefully they do something to interact that taps them out. That would be great. They do not. Okay, so the problem is they're definitely going to go get a basic, and then they still have a lot of colors, and they may be able to win, even throw back to basics. I want them to make more decisions. What do I do here? I could draw like... I mean, this is definitely a turn where I could just jam back to basics and make them have it. It's my only copy, though. Yeah, I'm just going to make them have it. Make them have the Beseiju. This is mana efficient. Like, drawing a card is not as consequential here. And now this puts them into a reactive mode where they have to, like, deal with this. And meanwhile, I'm continuing to grow my threats. They said main deck. And I'll just do smiley eyes. Yes, I have main deck. Back to basics. I have one copy and then I have one on the side. They said, you don't like magic. Wink. So I presume this is going to be a basic. And then they'll probably, when they Beseiju this, they do ramp me, which is not nothing. They have to find the Beseiju. So they can loam here, and then, but they're spending a lot of resources. They can still get Dark Depths spun up, but I have 8 answers to Dark Depths in my deck. And hopefully I'll find one. Rumble's a good card. They found another loam, which doesn't matter. And then they found they found crop rotation, which is pretty good. Okay, they're going to surveil. That will remain tapped. Okay, so they're not going the Dark Depths path quickly, at least. All right. So we can go ahead and do the Stoneforge flip trick here. I'm going to go get the sword, and I'll aim it at probably their Mox or their Forest. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and fetch now. Because I'm going to have to shuffle necessarily whenever I do this. Meteor Sword. Now we'll go to combat. I'll just blink this. And they can block here if they'd like. But I think they probably keep it around for mana. And then when she comes back, I'll just get Aegis. And that will deal with Dark Depths. I don't think they're going to be blowing up my stuff. I could go ahead and ponder here. I would like to find a force. They just skipped to that. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was feeling pretty good. So let's get our crop. Force negation is very important for just getting rid of loam completely. Wrath of the Skies is pretty good against their deck. I don't like Prismatic Ending that much. Cards that are less important. Plow. I think Solitude's fine to keep in just because it's free. But we might trim it as well. Dress Down doesn't... Oh, they are... they're a Saga deck. You want to keep Dress Down. We could probably go down on a Riddler. That is often how I end the game, is just get a bunch of Riddlers. But... you know what? Maybe we don't even need to go this hard on Force Negation, considering that they can't loam lock us because we have no wasteful lands. I think we can go down on Solitudes a little bit, 2 of them, plus the Aegis. I think that's probably enough. Yeah, I think I'll run it like this. And so we're just looking to get Stoneforge out and lock them before they can lock us with back to basics, or we're just generating so much value that they can't catch up. We're extremely favored in this matchup because we have tons of basics. I'm going to keep this, and we're going to hope that we're on the draw. Hopefully we get some more lands. This is just too good to pass up. Exploration, I don't care. I'll blow it up in, stage. Okay, so they may do quick stage kill, which, there's not a lot I can do about that. I'm going to go ahead and ponder here. Just try to find more lands. Solitude would also be good. These are more lands. Do I need all these? Doesn't really matter. I'm going to shuffle. I'll keep some life, I guess. I'll take a plains now. Yeah, so I'll draw one more land. And yeah, I mean, at this point, if they just have natural, then I can't do anything, but I can stop it. Yeah, they have it. Oh, wow. That's really good. Okay, so what can we even do here? I think the answer is nothing. Literally nothing stops this. They just do it in the end step. Then there's no reason not to, other than if they respect Solitude. Yeah, and this is an argument for keeping Solitude in because it would have stopped this. So I will grab Aegis, but we're dead. Unless they get like psyched out thinking that I'm still playing. I could have conceded there, but they should just make it and attack me. So turn 3 goldfish. Yeah, the odds of them having this, they have 3 depths and usually 4 stages or 3 stages. So it's not like super common that they have it, but it is something you want to know about. Okay. This is a quick one. All right. So again, I want to emphasize, we are very favored here. We could put Solitude in just to stop them from doing that. Maybe because we're so favored, we should do that. Maybe Wrath of the Skies win more. I mean, like, let's see. We still have... They smiled after that. They're like, yeah. They should be happy. Enjoy those easy wins where you get them, because I'm not going to give you a lot of them. Okay. I think Riddler could go down to 2. Maybe we do want a Wrath. Yeah, I think that's fine. So if we count, we've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think that's enough white cards. Let's do it. I definitely could have dropped some Tamios. I think actually that might have been the correct call. This is only blue, but we have Solitude. I'm going to keep this. We're insulated from them crazy, just like destroying us. But we do need to draw some white mana. Like the hands, this deck's really good. But again, you have to note that like we're giving up a lot not playing Tundras. Okay, so they may have the turbo. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just brainstorm and see if I can shuffle away one of these Felias. Okay, that's pretty good. So let's shuffle away one of these Felias. I actually would prefer to have a second blue than a second white. Yeah, I'll just do that, and then I'll play this out, and we will pass. I could have put away a Felia, actually, but like, if they're like, I'm going to probably have to pitch one, and then I play one out. If the Seju's out, Exploration, I'm going to let it go. Okay, Urza Saga, that's good to know about. So once Felia is on the table, she can take out 1 construct per turn, which is pretty good. I'm going to just go ahead and get a land here. They're down to 5 cards, so yeah, they're actually not that low on cards here. Let's get our planes. Let's see what we draw. I get Ponder. What do we want to do? I think we hold up both Force of Negation and Force of Will. I don't want to pitch the Ponder. I've got Solitude and I've got Felia. And if we get the vibe that like they can basically create a never-ending construct factory with this Thespian stage if they want to. Ancient Tomb, that's a lot. Holy guacamole. Okay, we could absolutely lose here. We need to find Wrath of the Skies now. That is so much freaking material. Okay, and now I pretty much have to do this. Quantum Riddler, and then this is going to kamikaze. No, wait, they can only make 1, so it won't kamikaze. And it's kamikaze, the wind of God. That's what that means, if you're curious. Okay, let's blink this. They're taking 2. We get a Riddler. We get a draw. Actually, in a pretty reasonable position. What do we do with this mana? Nothing, but like I don't want to ponder just because I might need to get... Yeah, I'm just going to chill. If they kill my Felia, I can bring it back, I guess. We might draw a card here that's good. Like a second force effect, and then we have 2 forces. That's fine. You've created a dude. I'll draw a card. Hopefully it's a Wrath of the Skies. No, it's a second force, though. That's not bad. So like they may be able to win without ever... doing anything. Like they may just create tons of constructs, but they're going to need some really tall constructs to get by my Riddler. They don't have baubles or anything. That's fine. I am going to go fetch a planes here before the search trigger, so they can't needle me. That would be embarrassing. Okay. So the stack is off. We do have Solitude, but if we go for that, then yeah, they got Expedition Map. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they do here. If they get another Urza Saga, I think they maybe do. Caracas, well, that's annoying and rude. Okay. They don't have good attacks, but they can stop our Felia from getting in. All right, we're just going to take a natural draw. I have another Ponder. I think I am going to Ponder because I need to find this Wrath stat. Stoneforge gives us Sword. I don't need another land drop. I think I get the Sword. What does the Sword do? The Sword takes out Caracas. Is that good enough? I have to turtle up. I can't attack them right now. I don't think. I will attempt to attack Felia, but then those are Caracas. Let's see. Yeah, I think I think Stoneforge is worth it. We could always just get the thing we can put in. They can exile the creatures, and then that takes out one of these, and we can potentially blink it. If If we get the sword, we can take out the Crocus, but they may be able to regrow it. But they haven't demonstrated. No, they won't be able to regrow it because they'll just force negation. Yeah, I think we do want to get the sword. This is going to be a close game, but I'm here for it. I'll solitude or I'll ponder after this. I think I'm probably only going to need to use one force. Okay, so let's go get this sword. And again, like taking a Crocus frees up Felia, which does a lot. Let's go to combat. They are just going to Crocus our Felia back. That's fine. I'm not going to attack. I need to, like, their life total is immaterial. What needs to happen is I need to work through Solitude again. Yeah, these aren't setting the world on fire. I just need the Wrath. Wrath ends the game, basically. Okay, another Stoneforge. I am going to have to go to discard here, unfortunately. I'll discard a Felia. Then I have something I can bring back with pre-war after I've sorted this. So I think they're going to make another dude. If they make a dude, they get another thing. They have 5/5 swinging in, and that does a lot of damage. If they get the Lava Spur boots, they could even have more than that. I don't think they can kill us this turn. They do have the stage. Yeah, there's Lava Spur. I think I probably have to Solitude when they attempt a Lava Spur here. This saves me a lot of mana. It reduces the power of the other attackers. I think it has to happen. And I'll just pitch the Felia for now because I have one in the graveyard that I can bring back, assuming they don't Bojuka Bog. All right, so the other attackers are smaller. Now they don't have particularly good attacks unless they want to... I don't think they even attack here. So Wrath is still practically GG. So I think we just go ahead and play this out, and then we can get Felia back. We wait till their turn to Meteor Sword. And that also gives me the option of holding Solitude in hand just in case I need to emergency kill something. I'm just going to chill. I think the game will be fine if I can just navigate this tight moment. We are a control deck. We are most definitely assuming the control role here. Okay, what is this? Rumble's fine. They find Thespian Stage, Forest Vibrance. Interesting. What does Vibrance do? I think it's lets them search. It shows Windswept Teeth. Interesting. Okay. They're fetching. They've got a lot of cards in hand. Taiga Uppercut. Pyroblast. I don't think I fight this. My concern is that they get something better going. How much damage am I going to take? I already got a card for this. Yeah, I'll let it go. I just can't. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, they're attacking with this. Okay, well, I am going to attempt to go ahead and put the Felia in. Oh, I can't. So maybe I just block one to preserve life total, and then I put the sword in and blow this up. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and hit that now. We're taking 3. Okay, they're floating white. Are they... Oh, what is this? Thespian Stage. Copying Caracas. What a fiendish thing to do. I didn't even think about that. Okay. All right. That's not good. So we can bring that back and we can go get one more equipment, I guess. Like pre-war still gets it back, and then... but that is an extra turn cycle. Or we can just pre-war now, bring back Stoneforge, and then we have the thing that exiles the creatures. I think that's fine too. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll just wait and do all this during their turn because I can ambush one in combat. Yeah, but we're not going to be able to use Felia this game, I don't think. Okay, they're attacking. Unless they have a flash artifact, I am going to get a free lunch here. And I'll take 4. They have Bojuka Bog, I force. They're Force of Vigoring. Oh, Endurance. I'm going to force that. I still have Force of Negation up if they crop rotate. But they don't actually have green mana here. Okay, so we get that back. Another one. You sicko. Man, we might lose now. Man, that's crazy. Okay. Well, I do have 5 mana, so I can Solitude next turn, but we're not in a good place. Okay, they did hurl a lot of their cards into their yard for that. I still have Force Negation if I absolutely need to stop something this turn, but I am taking 7, which hurts. That's half my life total. If they don't have more artifacts, I might be able to spring this out, trade with this, exile 1, and then trade. Let's go ahead and take a natural draw, or do we want to? I wouldn't mind drawing a land here. Yeah, because if I have land, I can equip stuff. Okay, that is land that doesn't even hurt me to use. So I think ultimately whether this Solitude resolves is going to tell the tale here. I don't have much of a choice. Yeah, and then if I can Solitude and trade, it's not the worst. I can also chump if I absolutely need to, but what am I doing if that's the case? I could also chump and Solitude and then equip and gain tons of life and race them. What does this do? Vibrance. It doesn't have flash, so that's important. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. So let's think about this. If I just kill this and then I block, if they don't have endurance, I can attack for a lot with a meteor sword next turn, and I can also still hold a force of negation. Yeah, I think I do that. Okay, they have something to do. Gosh, they've got so much stuff to do. Unholy Heat. I can't counter that. Well, it's a good thing I haven't declared blockers yet. I might have to declare a blocker here. Let's see. Okay, that's gone. I think I have to take this damage. Wow. My opponent has just had like the full toolkit. I'm just going to take the 3. Because I need to be able to equip this and start attacking them. So I have some forward momentum. At this point, I don't really want to draw a land. Is it worth... they might have Bolt in their deck. I think I'm not going to tap this just out of respect for Bolt. Oh, that's really freaking good. Okay, so we can repeat the turn that we just had. I will need to fetch, though, so I can pay the ward. Yeah, I'll just have to chill. And they know that I've got something here. Or I guess I could just have nothing in hand and I'm just going to plan to chump. But why wouldn't I equip this stuff? You know? All right, we'll see what happens. Their bag of tricks have to run out eventually. They are a freaking lands deck, you know? Minsk and Boo. Annoyingly, I do have to kill this. I have to stop this. Hopefully they don't have a pyro. They tapped out a pyro. Okay, so here I do have to just block because otherwise I go to 1, I can't even fetch. And I can't clear it next turn. Yeah. We're still alive. Barely. They're down to 2 cards. What are those 2 cards? They've managed to work through all of my fodder. Like literally everything. I actually kind of want a Solitude during main phase. We'll see what we draw. We're going to take an organic draw. I mean, they could just have a Bolt in hand. I'm going to go ahead and fetch. Can this do damage? Vibrance? Any target. Oh my goodness, they could kill me with Vibrance now. So, yeah, but I did need to fetch, unfortunately, just to ensure that Solitude could come out. All right. Now that we're this costs 3 to equip. This costs 3 to equip. So, yeah, I'll play this out just in case there's some double ward thing. I mean, there's nothing to be done. Just hope that they don't have Vibrance. If they have Loam, which they will definitely draw at some point, that would be good too. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this now, and we're going to see whether we're dead. My opponent has played exceptionally. I will pay the ward. Am I dead to Vibrance? Oh my goodness, I'm getting a turn. They have something. What is this? Endurance? Damn! Damn, that's crazy. Okay, well, I'll gain 3 life. We'll see what I draw. I'm out of Vibrance range. Force is a great rip. Come across. Wow, this is a freaking ball game. What a way to end the league. So many of their cards are lands that I can't interact with. Yeah, because I would have definitely Voltroned up my Solitude there. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm looking for more action. I'm not going to tap out a Hardcast Force. Another Solitude seems like just what the doctor ordered. I don't want this ever. Tommy doesn't matter. I'll just take the Solitude here, and now I'm covered against most of their stuff between Force and Solitude, and we're just going to keep putting some distance between us. They have Lava Spur Boots, which is terrifying. They said the comeback. I'm going to keep the Solitude up just to deal with their answers. Like if they have just come across. Now I can Solitude and Tommy on the same turn cycle, but I probably want to go ahead. Yeah, I'll just play her out. I don't think I'm going to need to do both in the same turn cycle. That could be a fatal decision. We'll see what they do. I know my top card is Chaff. They said, big fan of your content. Glad to be in it this way. Yeah, that's fine. I actually forgot about the Crocus. Sorry, my excellent friends. It's not a big deal. I've still got plenty of mana. I can do both of the things anyway. Okay. They are loaming. This gives them an extra turn. So if they get a stage, yeah, I think I just have to force. And I can keep the Tommy around, I guess. Okay, so hear me out. They have 2 cards in hand. They could just make it. I'm going to force pitching Tomio. I know that may seem weird, But Tommy does nothing. And if they do, like if this is a bait and they have something there, like it's going to be pretty catastrophic. Yeah, this way I can still, I can put in the Solitude and just gain more life. It's not quite putting me out of Lava Spur range. I think I just need to wait one turn, but then they get the Loam again. And the Loam, I may not be able to end the game in time. Let's see, do they have Dark Depths in their yard? No. So I think what they have to do is they have to, what cards were they targeting? Stage. Yeah, I think I need to get this out now, and then I can hit them before they can hit me. It sucks to do this, but I think it's worth it. Okay, and now we have them on a 2-turn clock, and Loam into Urza Saga is not going to save them. We bricked because I didn't freaking tap. I should have fetched. I bricked, and I might lose because of that. I'm going to hold it for Brainstorm. Okay, they're at 4. They said, come on, Dark Depths. Yeah, if you find Dark Depths, I freaking punted, and I deserve to lose. GG's. Insane ending to the league. Oh my goodness, I got so lucky. I can't believe I punted twice. I played the Tamio out into Caracas, which was dumb. It was just a waste of mana. I guess maybe like it didn't really matter because I had plenty of mana to play it. Yeah, that was insane. Yeah, and I think playing out the Solitude was correct, even though they had the out. Yeah, that was a 3-2. Losses to Grixis Control, which I misidentified, and a loss to the big mana deck, which it's going to prey on these types of decks. But that was a great league. Had a lot of fun. I do think the basics version is fine. You don't need the Tundras. We'll play some more to get data, but like I don't think it came up at any point during the league. If anything, the fact that I didn't have the Tundras was nice because like, you know, they could have kept me on 5 lands if I was like drawing Tundras instead of drawing fetches and stuff. Yeah, I'm not disappointed at all with my performance. I do want to punt less and I want your feedback. Wrath of the Skies would have been insane. I mean, I'm tempted to go up to 3 of them and just take out a Prismatic Ending, but Prismatic Ending is so good against the tempo decks. Hydroblast was good, but it's less necessary for sure. I mean, you know what? I think I talked myself into bringing in a Wrath of the Skies. Like Hydroblast doesn't even really matter for a deck. Like it was good in that situation, but Blood Moon just doesn't matter against us. And that's the main thing that Hydroblast is really good for. If we take Hydroblast out, we could bring in like another anti-combo card like Lavinia, which is probably better than Hydroblast. Storm's on the rise. Lavinia shuts off. You know, it's pretty good against Doomsday. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to bring in Lavinia. The main thing that wrecks us is Caracas, which our opponents always seem to have, and there's not really a good answer other than just locking it down or hitting it with the Meteor Sword. Like we could play a Wasteland, but then we're playing like 20 lands and it lowers our overall threat density. There were some situations where I was looking for land, but overall I felt like the lands were just perfect. Fabled Passage continues to be fine. It's not great. Like I wish they print just another Prismatic Vista, like printed as a different name. And like, yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm going to play some more leagues with it. I really like this. Hope you enjoy this deck that can be built for $1,000. That is legacy power level that will really demand the most of your thinking, sequencing, planning. And it is a lot harder to play all basics. You have to sequence better. It does remove a lot of the considerations around like, oh no, do I get that basic? Like you just don't have the choice of getting a Tundra, right? But I think on a whole, it's great practice to just get your discipline down. If you want to get really good at a deck, just play like Jeskai Control, which is all basics. Like it generally does play like 2 or 3 duels, but you can play a deck like that. But like this power level is way higher, and the fact that you don't have red to give your Prismatic Endings additional reach, but and you don't have Pyroblast, which is not even that important of a card right now in my humble opinion. But it's just so much cleaner this way. So I'll leave it there. Till next time, be excellent to each other. Party on.